Are you unknowingly wearing a hairstyle that adds 10 years to your face? After 50, your hair can either become your secret weapon or your worst enemy. Let's make sure it's the first. Turning 50 is more than just a number, it's a moment of clarity. It's when style becomes personal, not trendy. When we stop chasing what's in and start choosing what's right. And one of the biggest game changers? Your hairstyle. Because here's the truth, the wrong cut or color doesn't just flatter less. It can actually drag your face down, dull your features, and age you in seconds. And the worst part? Most of us don't even realize we're doing it. Today we're exposing 3 common hairstyles that instantly age you after 50. Not because they're bad, but because they've stopped working for you. Then we'll reveal the modern, flattering alternatives that lift your look, brighten your face, and bring your natural beauty forward. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about choosing you. It might sound simple, but the truth is, your hairstyle can either lift your entire face and energy or unintentionally age you by 10 years. We've all been there, holding on to that one haircut we've had for decades, thinking, it worked in my 30s, so why not now? But what looked youthful and fresh back then might now feel a bit tired. Or maybe you've been playing it safe with the same ponytail every day. Or going darker and darker with dye, hoping it brings back that bold confidence. And instead you're wondering why your reflection feels off. Here's the truth. Aging doesn't mean giving up on style. It means evolving with it. Your hairstyle should highlight your eyes, lift your cheekbones, and work with the beautiful texture and character your hair has gained over the years. So, today we're diving into 3 hairstyles that women over 50 should absolutely avoid, not because they're wrong but because they no longer serve you. And more importantly, we'll explore 3 stunning modern alternatives that will instantly make you look more vibrant, elegant, and full of life. Hairstyle to avoid. Number 1. Choppy, messy layers that don't behave. What starts as trendy texture often ends in daily frustration. Overlayered, messy cuts that worked in your 30s can suddenly feel chaotic in your 50s. Why? Because our hair changes, becomes finer, drier, more delicate. Those short, uneven layers that once added bounce now just add frizz, flyaways, and wasted mornings in front of the mirror. You've probably seen this in the mirror before. You wake up in the morning, brush your hair, and instead of falling into place, it's flipping out, puffing up, or just hanging there in weird sections. One side curves under, the other side sticks out. The back. Well, you don't even want to see what's going on back there. This is the problem with layers that don't cooperate with your hair texture. They require constant management, daily blow drying, mousse, round brushing, maybe even hot tools, just to look halfway presentable. And for most of us, especially after 50, who has the time or the wrist strength for that kind of routine every day? Another issue, hair naturally changes as we age. It tends to become thinner, a little more fragile, and less predictable. So what might have worked beautifully in your 30s or 40s can start working against you in your 50s and beyond. When you combine aging hair with an overlayered cut, the result is often flyaways, frizz, and a silhouette that looks anything but elegant. And let's talk about how this affects your face. Messy layers can actually pull your face downward, especially if they fall just below your cheeks or jawline without lifting or framing anything. Instead of drawing attention to your eyes or your smile, they clutter your facial outline, hiding the very features you want to highlight. They can also create visual noise around your face, distracting, uneven pieces that break up the harmony of your look. The result? You look tired. Or worse, like you're trying too hard to look youthful, which can have the exact opposite effect. Worse yet, they fight your face. Instead of lifting your cheekbones or framing your eyes, they scatter attention. One side flips under, the other flares out, and the back? You stop checking. These layers require blow drying, brushing, styling, and let's be honest, who has the time or energy for that anymore? The fix: swap harsh, disconnected layers for soft, blended shaping that enhances your natural volume. Think long face framing pieces or a classic bob with movement, not mayhem. Now let's be honest, many of us got this kind of cut thinking it would make our hair look fuller. That's the most common intention. Add layers so my hair doesn't lie flat. But here's the truth. Too many layers on already fine or thinning hair can make it look even thinner. It removes weight in the wrong places and exposes the scalp or crown area, where you want more coverage, not less. The bottom line is this. If your haircut is making your mornings harder, your styling routine longer, and your face more hidden than highlighted, then it's not doing its job. A great hairstyle should feel like an ally. It should work with your features, your lifestyle, and your natural hair texture, not fight against them. And the good news? There are so many more flattering, low-maintenance styles that give your hair the lift, softness, and sophistication you want, without the daily drama. We'll talk about those coming up. But first, let's move on to another surprisingly common hairstyle mistake that seems like a good idea, but can actually age you instantly. Hairstyle to avoid number 2, jet black hair dye, when bold turns harsh. Let's talk about hair color, and more specifically one color that so many women cling to after 50, hoping it will turn back the clock: jet black. Now listen, black hair can be stunning. Just bold. It's dramatic. It has that striking high contrast glamour that feels timeless. And for years, maybe even decades, you've been rocking it because it made you feel confident, strong, even mysterious. But here's the reality. After a certain age, jet black hair doesn't always do us the favors we think it does. In fact, it can be one of the fastest ways to make you look older. Not because of the color itself, but because of the contrast it creates against aging skin. See, as we mature, our skin naturally softens in color. It loses a bit of that youthful flush and becomes a little more delicate, even translucent in some areas. So when we place a dense, flat, dark frame, like jet black hair, next to our face, that contrast becomes very pronounced. Sometimes too pronounced. Instead of lifting the face, jet black can sharpen every line, every wrinkle, every shadow. It draws attention to under-eye circles, smile lines, and any unevenness in skin tone. And in natural light, the effect can be even more stark. You look at your reflection and think, why do I seem tired? When in reality, it's just the color amplifying things you'd rather downplay. But that's not the only issue. Jet black dye also tends to create a very flat look, especially if there's no dimension or natural highlights. It absorbs light instead of reflecting it, which can make your hair look heavy, stiff, even lifeless. And if your hair is already dry or thinning, as most of us start to experience after 50, black dye can emphasize every brittle strand. And let's not forget about the roots. One of the biggest problems with jet black hair dye is the maintenance. Gray or white roots against pitch black hair. The contrast is brutal. Even if your roots grow out just half an inch, they're visible from across the room. That means constant touch-ups, sometimes every 2 to 3 weeks. And we all know that's not realistic long-term. So you're stuck in a cycle. Either commit to high-maintenance root care or constantly walk around with that harsh line staring back at you in the mirror. But here's the most important thing. Black hair might no longer match your energy. When you were 25, it felt fierce. But now, maybe you want softness, lightness, movement, something that works with your features, not against them. That doesn't mean you have to go blonde or silver overnight. You can shift gradually. Try a soft dark brown. Add in subtle caramel or chestnut highlights. Warm up the color around your face. Even just lightening a few strands can take 10 years off your look. Not because it changes who you are, but because it harmonizes with the skin you have now. You deserve a hair color that flatters your natural beauty, not one that overpowers it. So if you've been holding on to black dye because it feels familiar, that's okay. We've all done it. But it might be time to ask, is this still serving me? Or is it just a habit I haven't questioned? Coming up next, we'll look at the third common hairstyle mistake. One that seems safe and neat, but might be quietly stealing the life from your whole look. Hairstyle to avoid number 3, over-teased old-fashioned volume, the big hair trap. Let's talk about something many of us have turned to at one point or another, especially when our hair starts to thin or lose its bounce. Teasing volume. Big bold hair. For years we were taught that bigger is better. That height equals glamour. That teasing your roots and spraying until your hair didn't move was the mark of being put together. And you know what? For a while it worked. It gave us that lift we wanted, not just physically but emotionally. That high crown made us feel confident, maybe even a little dramatic in the best way. But now that same style, the over-teased, overly stiff high-volume hair, can quietly do the opposite of what we intend. After 50, our hair changes. It becomes finer, drier, and more delicate. And when we try to force volume by teasing and spraying and building height, we risk turning a soft, graceful appearance into something that looks rigid, outdated, and honestly a little exhausting. Here's why. First, let's talk about shape. Those styles with high crowns and puffed-up back sections immediately signal a very specific era. The 60s, 70s, sometimes early 80s. And while retro can be fun when done intentionally, this kind of volume often dates us in ways we don't realize. It doesn't read as vintage or playful. It reads as stuck in time. Instead of enhancing your natural features, big hair can overwhelm your face, especially if the rest of your style is modern or understated. Your hairstyle ends up speaking a different language than your clothes, your makeup, your energy. There's a mismatch. And people notice it, even if they can't quite put their finger on why. Second, there's the issue of movement, or lack thereof. When your hair is teased and sprayed into place, it doesn't move naturally. It doesn't flow. It sits. And when hair sits stiffly on your head, it creates an effect that can feel lifeless, or worse, helmet-like. This lack of softness makes the face look more tired, less radiant. Instead of a gentle frame around your face, you're left with a structure that feels hard and unapproachable. And let's be honest, it's a lot of work. Teasing every morning. Hairspray clouds in the bathroom. Brushing it out at night. Dealing with tangles. And feeling like your scalp is begging for mercy. Over time, all of that teasing and spraying can damage already delicate hair, leading to breakage and even more volume loss, which is exactly what you were trying to avoid in the first place. Another subtle but important point, over-volumized hair can throw off your facial proportions. If your face has softened or shortened slightly with age, which is completely normal, that extra height on top can make your face look smaller or rounder than it actually is. It pulls the eye upward in a way that feels unbalanced, especially if your features are gentle or your jawline has softened. So, what's the alternative? We're not saying you can't have volume. You absolutely can, and should. But the key is modern, soft, natural-looking volume, not sky-high teased volume from decades past. Think soft lift at the crown, not a mountain of hair. Think gentle texture through layers, not backcombing that turns your hair into a bird's nest. Use volumizing mousse or root-lifting spray instead of teasing combs. Embrace movement. Let your hair catch the light, sway as you walk, respond to your presence, not resist it. Because here's the truth, you don't need big hair to make a big impression. Your beauty today isn't in how high your hair stands. It's in your eyes, your smile, your ease. The more natural your style feels, the more it reflects who you are now, the more confident and magnetic you become. So, if you've been holding on to that teased-up style because it made you feel powerful once, maybe now's the time to let go of the big, and embrace the beautiful instead. No elaborate styling routines. No curling iron gymnastics. Just wash, fluff, and go. And the vibe? It's modern, confident, and quietly chic. Think of that effortlessly stylish French woman, the one who always looks pulled together but never like she tried too hard. That's the soft bob. It says, I know who I am. I'm not chasing youth. I'm owning my beauty. This cut also plays beautifully with color. Whether you're embracing your grays, blending with soft highlights, or rocking a dimensional brunette or blonde, the soft bob gives your color space to shine. The way it moves and reflects light adds depth and texture, which is especially important when your hair starts losing some of its natural pigment. And don't underestimate the psychological shift this haircut can bring. There's something powerful about getting a fresh cut that feels like it fits the current you, not the version of yourself from 10 years ago. Women often describe the soft bob as freeing, refreshing, and just enough change without being scary. It's a little confidence boost in the form of a haircut. Because after 50, the goal isn't to look younger. The goal is to look energized, current, and completely in sync with the woman you've become. The soft bob does that, not with loud declarations, but with a quiet kind of grace that turns heads without trying. Coming up next, we'll take a look at another favorite, a longer, more relaxed cut that brings effortless texture and youthful energy without ever looking overdone. Youthful alternative number 2, the textured lob. Light, lively, and so easy to love. Let's be honest, not everyone is ready to go short. And that's completely okay. Maybe you love the feeling of your hair brushing your shoulders. Maybe you still want the option to throw it into a ponytail. Or maybe you've worn your hair long for most of your life and going super short just doesn't feel like you. That's where the textured lob, also known as the long bob, comes in. And trust me, it might just be the perfect balance you've been searching for. This cut typically hits right around the shoulders, sometimes slightly longer, and it's paired with soft, subtle layers that give your hair movement and shape without making it look choppy or high maintenance. It's the ultimate, I look great without trying too hard haircut. The beauty of the textured lob is how universally flattering it is, especially for women over 50. It frames the face beautifully, adding just the right amount of softness around the cheeks and jawline. And those gentle waves? They do wonders for lifting the face and bringing attention to your eyes, your smile, your energy. One of the biggest perks of this cut is how well it works with aging hair. As we get older, our hair can become thinner, drier, or lose some of its natural texture. A long, heavy haircut can drag everything down. But a textured lob? It brings lightness and movement back to your look. Even better, you don't need thick hair to pull it off. In fact, this style works beautifully with fine or medium hair, especially when you add a little soft bend or wave. You don't need tight curls or intense blowouts. Just a quick flick of a curling iron, a little sea salt spray, or even a simple braid overnight can give you that effortless texture. It's also one of the most versatile lengths out there. You can wear it down with loose waves for a casual weekend or smooth and sleek for a more polished look. You can tuck it behind your ears, pin one side up, or throw it into a low ponytail or messy bun, all without losing the charm of the cut. And let's not forget, this length is incredibly easy to grow out or tweak. You're not locked into anything dramatic. If you decide you want to go shorter later, you can. If you want to let it grow longer, go for it. The lob gives you flexibility, something we all appreciate at this stage in life. Another reason why the textured lob is such a winner? It plays well with color. If you're transitioning to gray, it blends beautifully. If you have highlights, lowlights, or natural dimension, the movement in the cut really brings them to life. It's a perfect canvas for soft, modern color that complements mature skin tones. But most importantly, this style just feels fresh. It's modern but not trendy. It's easy but not lazy. It's graceful, confident, and effortlessly feminine. If you want a hairstyle that moves with you, that doesn't hide your age but enhances everything you've earned, the textured lob might be your perfect match. And coming up next, we'll explore a style that adds a little romance, a little softness, and just the right touch of framing for your face without making you feel like you're trying to be 20 again. Youthful alternative number 3, curtain bangs with soft layers. Framing the face with freshness. Okay, I know what you might be thinking. Bangs? After 50? No thanks. And I get it. We've all had that one traumatizing bang cut in our past. The one that took 6 months and 14 bobby pins to recover from. But trust me, curtain bangs are not that kind of bang. Curtain bangs are the grown-up, graceful version of fringe. They're parted slightly in the middle, or a little off to the side, and they gently drape down the sides of your face like soft little curtains. Nothing harsh. Nothing blunt. Just a whisper of shape and movement that flatters nearly every face. So, why are curtain bangs such a great option after 50? Because they do something magical. They soften everything. As we age, our facial features naturally change. The skin on the forehead might show a few more lines. The temples might look a little more hollow. The eyes may sit slightly deeper. Curtain bangs offer a gentle frame that blurs those changes, without hiding your face. It's not about covering up. It's about shifting the focus back to your eyes, your smile, your energy. These bangs also add instant personality to almost any haircut. Whether you're wearing a bob, a lob, or even shoulder-length waves, curtain bangs bring in that little spark, that effortless, relaxed look that says, yes, I've got style. But I didn't spend an hour on my hair. Pair them with soft, face-framing layers, and the result is downright flattering. Those light layers around the face create natural movement and volume, especially if your hair has started thinning around the sides. Together, they lift the cheekbones, soften the jawline, and make the whole face appear lighter, fresher, and more open. And the best part? They're low commitment. Unlike blunt bangs that require constant trims and perfect styling, curtain bangs grow out gracefully. If you want to pin them back, you can. If you decide they're not for you, they blend right into the rest of your hair. You're not stuck. And styling them? Easy. You don't need a round brush and a blow dryer every day. Sometimes just using your fingers and a little styling cream is enough. If you want to look a bit more polished, a few seconds with a curling iron or a big roller at the roots will give them the perfect swoop. This cut works on straight, wavy, or curly hair, and it plays nicely with color too. If you have natural highlights or are growing in gray, curtain bangs can actually help blend those transitions and draw attention away from roots or uneven tones. But maybe the most important benefit is this. Curtain bangs add a youthful vibe without looking like you're trying to be younger. They say, I still have a sense of playfulness. I still like to try new things. I still want to feel beautiful. Not because I'm chasing youth, but because I'm embracing who I am now. And that's the energy we're going for. So, if you're looking for a gentle update, not a full makeover, not a shock, just a little lift, a little brightness, a little softness, curtain bangs might be exactly what you need. The right haircut doesn't make you younger. It makes you shine. So there you have it. 3 hairstyles that may be holding you back. And 3 fresh, flattering alternatives that can help you feel lighter, brighter, and more you again. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about choosing what works now, for your features, your lifestyle, and your confidence. Because the right haircut doesn't just change how you look. It changes how you carry yourself. It lifts your energy. It reminds you that you're still growing, still evolving, still glowing. So if any of these styles spoke to you today, maybe it's time to try something new. Not because you have to, but because you deserve to feel amazing in your own skin. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe for more style and beauty tips made just for women over 50. Leave a comment below. Tell me which hairstyle you've been wearing and which one you're curious to try next. I still have a sense of playfulness. I still like to try new things. I still want to feel beautiful. Not because I'm chasing youth, but because I'm embracing who I am now. And that's the energy we're going for. So, if you're looking for a gentle update, not a full makeover, not a shock, just a little lift, a little brightness, a little softness, curtain bangs might be exactly what you need. And if you know a friend who could use this advice, share it with her too. Thanks so much for spending this time with me. You are radiant just as you are. And the best is still to come. Like, share, and subscribe. See you.